everyone, it's Amazing Buys, and we're gonna do something a little bit different today. So guys, if you have been keeping up with my videos, off and on, I've been mentioning that I rated my family members' fragrances. So I'm gonna share that video with you right now with a couple of clips. So guys, before we get into that, go ahead and hit the notification bell, like, and subscribe, and let's get started. So their perfumes and pretty much their perfumes, their body mists are combined. So I do know who some of them belong to, but not all. But we are going to get into that. So before you guys say, oh my gosh, why did you rate your family members' fragrances? And oh my gosh, listen, it didn't last long. I got caught. And as you can see, my sister-in-law, she saw what I was doing and was just like, oh, here, try this. She put her little perfume oil down, which you will see looks familiar. Okay, so let's get into the first one. So one of them, I don't know if it's like my mom or my sister-in-law, but pretty much one of the fragrances that they had was a Bath and Body Works Butterfly. Now I have seen this many times in stores. I'm pretty sure I've tried it, but this is pretty much a refresher for me. The notes to this is raspberry nectar, Irish petals, and airy vanilla. So this one was a very sweet scent, and you definitely get that raspberry. That is what I was picking up on that. I guess the sweetness is from the vanilla, but sweet raspberry. If you like raspberry, guys, you definitely will like that Butterfly from Bath and Body Works. Moving on to the next one, we have the more fancier ones, Jadora. Okay, so this is actually, I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm gonna put the name right here. But this Jadora is the one that is alcohol free. So I think this one is a little bit more expensive than the original one. But let's get into the notes. So that is jasmine, sambac, neroli, and magnolia. This scent, I feel like, is a classic at this point. It is a very fancy, luxurious scent, very bright. And I would say that it does have a slight fruitiness to it, but overall, it's just a nice, classic luxury scent. Now, some people wear Jadora all the time, all day, every day, and some people save it for like specific events. I feel like it could work either way. That could be your signature scent if you wanted to. You don't have to save it for, specific events. So next up, we have the original Jadora. Now, this one, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the EDT. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So the notes for this is ylang ylang. Is that how you say that? Because nobody's correcting me in the comments. Do y'all not know how to say it too? Anyways, it's ylang ylang, Turkish Damascus rose, jasmine grandiflorum, and jasmine sambac. Okay, so this is pretty much similar to the alcohol-free one, except this is a lot lighter. I won't say a lot lighter, but it is lighter, definitely. And it still smells good and luxurious. They're both really nice, luxurious floral scents. So overall, I feel like you can't go wrong with Jadora. I feel like in general, Dior makes pretty good products, I would say. Whether it's Dior Sauvage or just like the men, women's, overall, they make good scents. Okay, we have Victoria's Secret's Velvet Petals Golden. Now, this one, the notes for this is toasted almond, radiant pear, and velvet petals at a golden hour. Now this one was a creamy, ambery, floral, warm scent. I would say you get a slight bit of the pear in it, but overall this one I feel like was a bit more fancier compared to other Victoria's Secret sprays. It just literally like blended really nice together. So surprisingly, I really like this one because usually for velvet petals, I've just always overlooked it, but I've been proven wrong with their cashmere one. That one is a really nice one. So that is Velvet Petal Golden. Guys, it is good. Sorry, the baby's going off again. He's listening to Wheels on the Bus, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, anyways, you should already know the drill by now about that. Next up, we have Clinique's Aromatic Elixir. We need to talk about this. So I know for sure this is my mom's fragrance. Guys, this one is mature. Now, overall, I feel like this was probably the only one that I didn't like. I feel like overall, my mom has always smelled really good. And like, I know she's always smelled really good because even when I was younger, I always rated her perfumes. Whether it was before school, church, I was rating her perfumes. But anyways, she's always smelled good. So maybe this works with her body chemistry. I can't say that I particularly smelled this fragrance on her ever. If I have, it must work differently with her body chemistry because, like I said, I don't ever remember smelling this on her. But this is the only fragrance that I would say that I did not like. The top notes for this is verbena, coriander, chamomile. Middle notes is Bulgarian rose, jasmine, and ylang ylang. And the bottom notes is patchouli, oak moss, sandalwood, and vetiver. To me, what I was getting, guys, you know I make my notes. To me, what I was getting, it had a saltiness to it. It was very, 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 very musky, and it was strong and it was mature. That's what I was getting out of there. There's sometimes when certain fragrances have patchouli, sometimes it works good. Sometimes it could be that earthy, weird patchouli in there. I feel like this had that. It was a very weird combination, and I don't know what was giving it that saltiness to it. So I don't know. We got to talk about that. This is directed at my mom. If you are watching this, we have to talk about that fragrance. Okay, next up we have Rose Prick. Now, I've told you guys that she's had that. I talked about it in my previous videos. Guys, that is a true rose scent. Let's get into the notes. So the notes for this is Rose de Mai, Bulgarian rose, and Szechuan pepper. Now, you do not get that Szechuan pepper in there at all. That must be all the way faded in the background because this, I'm telling you, is a true rose scent. If you like rose, definitely try Tom Ford's Rose Prick. Now, as far as longevity, there's a lot of people that complain about Tom Ford fragrances, but this one lasts a long time. I've tried this myself. My mom rants and raves about it. Like, I think that is her scent of 2023. Rosiest of the rose. If you like rose, check this out. Okay, so next up we have Chanel Allure. This is the EDP. Now, the notes for this is peony, accord, passion fruit, and vanilla. I was pretty interested in seeing this one, and I was like, why does this bottle look so familiar? And I was like, oh my goodness, passion fruit. Like, you don't see that a lot in fragrances as far as that note. So when I smelled it, on the initial first spray, I was just like, like, this is strong. It could be a bit much, but as it started to dry down, and it didn't take long to transform, it is a nice, fruity, fancy scent. My opinion on it, when I first smelled it, and I actually have this, that's why it looks familiar. As you can see, my bottle isn't as empty as hers, so it looks like she's been using it a lot more than me. But I really think that what made the difference of that is the passion fruit. It gave it like that. It wasn't like that typical fruity scent that you like, oh, I can't make that out, or what is that, or is it your typical raspberry or berry note? You know, like the typical fruits it seems like they use in fragrances. This one is a little bit, I have it sprayed on me. This one is a little bit different. This is definitely a grown woman scent. And when on the first initial spray, when I smelled hers, I was just like, it gave you that wow, like Burberry Goddess, like an in-your-face type of scent. Now, will I say this is like Burberry Goddess? No, that's on two different levels. But it kind of reminded me of that pow in the beginning. You smell the fruitiness. It has an ambery, musky scent. It's something I feel like you can alternate between like an everyday, you know, musky, fruity scent versus something that's fancy. It could be either or. Now, I will say once it starts to dry further down, it does get powdery. But this is definitely, guys, grown woman scent for sure. So check that out. I mean, Chanel is a popular brand. They do have beautiful fragrances. But I think this one, it's not, like I said, it's grown woman. I feel like The other ones that they came out with, like Chance and like the circular ones, those I feel like the ages can vary for that. But this one, grown women scent. Now moving on to the next one. Guys, I said in that perfume oil video that my sister-in-law actually had that Amali oil, the Arabian one. So when she put that down, that is the first time that I seen it in person. I was like, oh my gosh, this bottle is beautiful. So the idea to make that video came from her and that subscriber that made that comment that I mentioned in that video. But guys, if you haven't checked out that video, definitely check that out. This is such a beautiful, luxurious oil. I feel like it definitely would make Jadora pop even more. Like if you just freshly showered, you put on Jadora and then you put that Amali oil on top of it. That is a great combination right there. Okay, and for my last fragrance that I have, this is Victoria's Secret Love Spell Golden. The notes for this is honeyed vanilla, sparkling nectarine, and it says Love Spell in Golden Hour. Now, this is a completely different love spell. When it says honeyed vanilla, it means honeyed. You definitely get that honey note in there. You definitely get that vanilla in there. And guys, I would say that this one is definitely different than your typical love spell. And so it does have a slightly fruitiness. It is warm. So I would say that it's softer than the normal love spell, because it definitely has that same smell as Love Spell. It's just altered. So you do still get that regular Love Spell in there. It's just softened. And then if you add in like an ambery solar note in there. Do not forget this one. When it says honeyed vanilla, it means honeyed vanilla. And it is really nice, trust me. As far as the ones that I have out of their collection would be the Allure Chanel, and then it would be the Jadora that I showed you in a previous TJ Maxx video. There you go. This is just a mini bottle. One day I'll get on my mom's level and get me a full bottle of that, especially the white one. There is a difference, guys, with the one with no alcohol in it. But overall, I thought their, collection was pretty decent. We gotta catch up again because I want to see what new ones you guys have now. But anyways, that is my little story time of when I rated my family members' perfume and their fragrances. And if they are watching, hi! Maybe in the future, I'll feature them in a video and we can review fragrances together. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have fun, stay blessed, and happy shopping. Bye.